voting is how you can make a difference. Not only that, it's the only thing you should do to make a difference because of how big of a difference it makes. Out of the 150 million expected voters, your vote carries the leverage of 150 millionth of a difference. And your vote carries more weight than that because it doesn't actually carry any legal weight toward electing the president. The 538 members of the Electoral College are the ones whose votes legally elect the president, as described in Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution. So you vote to elect electoral voters who vote for and actually elect the president. And in most states, electoral voters aren't legally bound to vote according to the way that the voters vote for them to vote. This system is genius because who better knows who the citizens want to vote for than the Electoral College? Sure as hell not the citizens. You can't trust people like that.
Except their vibration is low, so that's why they are solid objects. Versus our vibration is high, we have more life force inside us. So yeah, to learn the consciousness, we start with life force, we start with energy, and then build upon that.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Grimerica Show. We are going to be chatting with Nitin Adsul a little bit later from the LifeForce Academy about Kundalini and all that fun stuff. And we got good friend of the show, 4T in Mind, Justin, joining us here. But first, as always, the blue blocker himself, Graham Dunlop. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
You know, I had a real good one picked out for this week, and I had written it down.
And
it
you
was
lost.
so good,
That's what you're looking
I
for,
accidentally
really?
wiped it off.
Oh, really? That's too
It'll
bad.
It'll come to me.
How you doing, Justin?
I'm living the dream, fellas.
I think It might have been Graham Garden Gnome Dunlop.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, he wanted to call himself the Possibilionist Genome instead of Graham when we started the show. That was going to be his pseudonym.
That's his blog name, isn't it?
Yeah, that was going to be his Grimerica's
yeah.
pseudonym.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you had to call him Possibilionist all the time?
Well, I'm rather glad you guys don't call me 4T in Mind all the time. I wouldn't mind it, but I'm
Friend of the show, 4T in Mind.
And well, you're blogger. You're blogger on our website, right?
Actually, I was just talking to Darren before this. I've written one post in all of 2016, so I only have like 15 days left, 16 days to make that 2.
Are you going to squeak something out?
I'm going to try to. I was telling you guys I had one picked out, and it was the whole paranormal odors, paranormal scent.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then Joshua Cutchin came out with the Brimstone Deceit. And I figured, well, that's probably a pretty good source, so I'm going to get that for Christmas, whether a present from someone else or a personal Christmas present to myself. And then once I've done a little bit more research, then I'll pump that one up. I got a couple more in the barrel that hopefully I can pop out here.
I should, you should do one on, like, auditory hallucinations.
Ooh, I
have those all the time.
No.
Where I think I'll hear music or something, and I think it's because I'm half deaf, and my hearing's getting worse.
Really?
Yeah, I can see a hearing aid in my future. I'm probably still a while away, but
Do you
I'll
think it's
notice.
from work?
Yeah, probably. I'm going blinder too.
Really?
Like if
Blinder.
If it's like, yeah. If it's like,
Oh, maybe if he has some blue blocking glasses.
in the dusk, or like if it's not bright enough, I have a really hard time seeing. Like Lisa, she tries to dim the lights, touch me. I was like, you got to turn those lights on. Otherwise, I'll fucking start walking into shit.
Are you in the house you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, maybe, have you gotten new glasses in a while? Like maybe.
No, I do need to.
Are you going to get blue blocking lenses?
I have to go for a exam.
You should. At night, I sleep way better. Oh, fuck. What was that?
That's a new one.
My power bar went off. Are you still... Can you hear us, Justin?
No.
No. So, that's why we need donations. Because all of a sudden the power went out.
Just on the power
Are
bar.
you not paying the bill?
Just on the power bar.
So, that's how it happens pretty much weekly in the studio. Some weird glitch, power or cords.
That was a new one.
So what happened there?
I don't know. The power bar. There's just too much shit plugged into this.
No, I can't just go all of a sudden like that. Do you think?
Well, it seems like it. If this thing kicked out, this power bar kicked out.
So, are you still recording if I call Justin right back then?
Yeah, we're still recording.
And we can just fix all this because of your backup power now? We're still recording all
Yeah,
that?
because of the USP. Saves the day.
Hey, buddy. So, we are still recording.
Right on, right on.
And we just booted back up somehow. There was a power bar malfunction.
Is that a normal Canadian thing? Do you guys get those a lot?
Well, I guess it is if you're plugging a power bar into a power bar into a power bar and you've got a Faraday cage of electronics happening here with not enough power.
I think we're going to have to wire. Yes. I think we're going to have to get an electrician and we need another outlet. We need another outlet and a bigger fucking breaker in the garage.
Another outlet? Are we utilizing all the outlets in here already?
No, we could wire another one in. If we put in a bigger breaker in the panel box, then we could wire another fucking plug in here.
Right. I have not.
Or even there's a panel box there that could probably put a couple breakers in it, you know? I think it sends 50 amps out here.
Yeah, I don't know about how that works if you spread it out. Like if we put another breaker in and we spread some of it out, would that help? Or?
Yeah, that helps. I mean, when we kick the whole breaker in the garage, it's because we've heated that thing up. Which is what happens if we turn on one more heater. Now, the power bar thing's a new one.
Yeah.
So it's just
So what did you do down there? Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
I just hit the reset.
Really?
So the power bar is just...
Could it have something to do with the minus 20 out there? No, probably not, eh?
Well, it could.
Let's see, that minus 20, is that Celsius?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Could it have anything to do with you backing into your cable box in your yard and then your cable and your internet goes out and then the next morning it's back on again?
Yeah, that still could have been a coincidence. I'm still not sure what to think there. So I was parking my truck in my yard and the my cable thing and in Canada we have these cable things that come out of the ground and that's where the cable guy will go to fuck with.
And it's covered in a steel box, right?
Yeah. And it's basically like a 8-inch square fucking pole thing box coming out of the ground that sticks up 3 feet. And mine and the neighbors are right beside each other, so I saw what I thought was mine in my rearview mirror.
And it was your neighbor.
I'm just backing up, fucking boom. I was like, fuck. So I got out and parked my truck, and sure enough, the thing was bent over on a 45. So I pushed it back up, went in the house, and my internet wasn't working. So then I went downstairs to check the cable. That wasn't working. So I assumed I had broke something and was going to call the repair guy today. But when I woke up in the morning, everything was working again.
I think you just shocked it. It just you put a shock through it.
Either that or it was just a coincidence. And there was a random outage at the same time as I thought I backed into it.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, you did back into it. And you thought you broke it, you mean?
When I thought I broke it.
All right, so we're back on track here now. Justin, what were we saying again?
I don't know. I was just trying to figure out how
I know.
cool it was here.
We were talking about auditory hallucinations.
Oh, yeah. I have those quite a bit, yeah.
And you think that's because you're partially deaf?
Yes.
Are you going to
get any visual?
And I need new glasses.
And then you need new glasses. And you're going to get blue blocking glasses? I sleep way better with these now. At night, I'll wear these.
Yeah,
so
I might.
If the TV's on or any artificial lighting's on, I'll have these on, even though they're not really good to walk around in, but it helps me sleep. You get
blue blocker and anti-reflective? Because yours are really reflective. I could read your computer screen off of your face.
What does that matter?
It doesn't matter unless you're looking at something that's weird on your phone. Just be cognizant of that.
I'll keep that in mind.
You're wearing a couple of mirrors on your face.
At work, people are creeping on what I'm watching on my phone.
Yeah.
So anyways, auditory hallucinations.
Just plow through 16 gigs of data a month and I really wonder what you've been up to on your phone.
So give me an example.
A lot of times for me it's music. I'll hear music and it'll be like a fucking truck
in your brain.
Truck running out in front of the house, or the furnace kicked in, or I'll think I hear talking and it's nothing.
Do you have any of those, Justin?
Not a common occurrence, but it has happened before. So lately, actually, I keep thinking I see stuff at the corner of my eyes, and I'm not sure if my eyesight's going, and I'm gonna need a pair of blue blocking glasses here pretty soon. But yeah, it's the weirdest thing, really. It's more and more I keep seeing. Yeah, what I think, our coworkers usually happens around work. Coworkers are, because, it's a big warehouse and, it's easy to creep up on people. And it's kind of a game, actually, to sneak up on people. And so, I'm always aware and cautious. But, I keep seeing, what I think are people at the corner of my eyes. And when I turn, there's no one there. So I just chalk it up to bad eyesight or paranoia.
Not any Fortean phenomenon?
I don't believe so. It's a big warehouse, and I've been there by myself. I get up, rather early, and it's pretty dark now when I get there, and I'm the only one in the warehouse, and I never get the creep factor. Never have.
Do you have glasses?
I don't. No, my boy just got glasses, but technically there's no blood link there, so
yeah.
So doesn't run in our family.
So what do you guys think about this auditory hallucination then? Golfing in Phoenix, just like on the beautiful blue sky, walking down the middle of this big fairway, and I hear this up, like above me, like it was honestly like a UFO auditory hallucination. And I look up, I just flip out. I look up, I'm looking around, and I couldn't see anything, but it sounded like there was something buzzing right near me. Like, and it wasn't like insect buzz because that wouldn't have been that loud. This was like vibration, like loud buzzing. Like a cloaked drone.
You're going right there, right?
No, what do you mean? Like, no, I didn't say UFO. I just said it could have been a drone. Maybe it was a drone and I didn't see it. I don't know what it was.
You
started with UFO.
Hallucination, which is weird because most UFO sightings don't report noise associated with the craft.
Yeah.
So a cloaked drone, I guess, would be more, plausible because it's earthly technology. Although if you have the ability to cloak it and make it unseen, you think you'd have the ability to make it quiet.
Silent. Yeah.
Had an airplane flown by not long before?
Well, I don't think. No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, this was like just above me. Like I was like looking up, like something is right there, not like miles up, like 20 feet up, 10 feet up. Like it was like right there.
That close, huh?
Yeah, but well, it's hard to tell because you didn't see it, but it sounded close. But the guys he said he has a lot of auditory hallucinations like that. The people that they get out there and meditate, try and make contact. Do you remember having that podcast with Terry Tabando, Darren, way back?
I do.
And he talked about that?
Terry Tabando. He was fun.
Yeah, we should get him on again. Geez, when I think back about that podcast, we were in 2 studios before this one.
Yeah. Was that still
that was in the original.
In the old house?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
I'll link to that up.
Absolutely.
That was fun. That was
my theorygram, and I think you're going to like this. It's an auditory time slip.
Nice.
I like that.
I think I just coined a new phenomenon. Copyright 14 mine.
There's time slips in the studio.
Yeah, totally.
The studio iMac is always gaining. I think it's up to like 11 or 12 minutes ahead of real time.
Oh, yeah?
And if you adjust it just adjusts back. And it's connected to the internet too, so it should be fixing itself, but I don't get it.
And time literally goes faster in the studio.
I think the igloo could be a vortex.
Maybe that's
why the power's always fucking off.
No, that could be it.
Or we just need an electrician.
Maybe there's just so much EMF and electronic fucking phenomena going on in here that it just like distorts time.
Or we need an electrician.
We're just busted down mysteries tonight, aren't we?
Which is going to cost money, which is why you need to support the show.
Yep.
Check out Grimerica.ca/support for all the different ways to do that. Sign up for a monthly. Think of how much you spend on coffee in a month and give us like one of those a month. One Starbucks a month. $5, that's about $1 a show. It's the most popular plan.
Hey, look what you bought. Somebody donated the power backup supply that just saved their recording today.
Yeah, we would have lost.
We've had 3 power outages for some dumb reason over the last 3
Since we
months.
started needing heat. The more heat we need, the more the power seems to fail.
Yeah, that's true.
Or because the igloo is a vortex.
That could be it too. So, yeah, check out grimerica.ca/support. Sign up for a monthly if you can. One-time donations are appreciated as well.
I have some T-shirts too.
Graham still has some T-shirts left.
$25.
$25 or more.
They can check out the Instagram account for pictures of the shirts. I'm sure they're in there somewhere.
Yeah, or you can also check out grimerica.ca/swag if you want like stickers or coffee cups or there's women's shirts and kids shirts there and all that fun stuff.
Short shorts.
I think mini skirts, same thing. So yeah, check all that stuff out. All different ways to support the show. Of course, if you can't afford to support us financially, we understand, and you can review the show wherever you can.
And tell a friend.
Share the show.
Share the show, yeah. Tell a friend.
Sign them up to newsletters anonymously.
Sign them up to Justin's newsletter.
Yeah, Justin helps with the newsletter.
Oh, by
Thanks,
the way,
buddy.
we're not doing the episode art thing anymore.
Yeah,
so
you're
take that out.
Oh, well, thanks for keeping me in the loop, fella.
Yeah. Well, we thought you still listened.
I remember hearing you talk about it, but I never got an official confirmation. So I figured until I heard it from the horse's mouth, it was staying in there.
Yeah, well, thanks. We really appreciate you doing that.
But people can submit T-shirt designs.
Yeah, you can submit art if you want. There's a lot of back episodes that could use art if people do want to submit art.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'd like to get all of those over to new art.
Check out the Instagram and you'll see some of the episode art because some podcast players still don't do the specific episode art, but the website does have it. Yours doesn't?
No, I got iTunes. I
don't know. Well, that's there in iTunes doesn't do it still. Crazy.
Do you have a podcast player?
Yeah.
So switch to Overcast. It's free.
Or iCatcher.
iCatcher's not free. Yeah, iCatcher's a couple bucks. Overcast is free and it works really well. And it'll even do if you're listening to other podcasts that have, maybe not as stellar of audio as we do. It's got like a boost function and things like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think you guys have pretty decent audio.
Yeah, we strive for that. No. That's another reason to support the show.
Unless you get Colin like me. Like every time I hear myself on the show, I'm like, wow, I need a new microphone.
No, you sound good.
Yeah, to you, but when you listen back to the podcast, you can definitely tell a difference.
So here, I got a jingle for you.
In my opinion.
And now another edition of the Grimerica Goodies by the people, for the people.
It's time for another edition of Quotes of the Week.
Oh no.
From our friend Jackson Taylor.
Oh, hey Jackson, thanks for doing this.
Check out.
Should I be
of course, you can follow Jackson on Twitter. I think it's just it's at Jackson Taylor Jr. And he'll be. I hope he doesn't mind me giving out his Twitter, but then he'll be up to date on the quotes.
JR or Junior?
JR.
Okay.
So we'll go back. It's been a while, so we're gonna go all the way back to episode 193. 158, an hour 58. So does that mean in a couple generations, China's going to have 50 million extra women?
Who does he say who it was?
Nope.
Because we can't remember who said these
things. I think it
things.
was me.
No, it sounds like something I might have said.
$194. Can we get a new T-shirt that says "Scope Darren" and underneath "This coffee tastes like ass"? I think that might have been you. No, that was a write-in.
Yeah, that was a listener.
Number 195 at the 56:30 mark. It's a good place to cry to drum solos. By Graham, Don't Shrink Dumb. I think that's when you claimed you don't get shrinkage.
I've never claimed that.
You did on the air.
Oh, no, in a cold pool, in a cold thermogenesis thing.
Oh, you don't shrink?
Not the same, no. Not if you're breathing through it.
Number 196. The point of all that is the psychedelic changed the way you perceive things, whether that happened or not.
Mm.
That was not either of us.
No.
No one's smarter than us. 197. Consciousness itself seems to be more complex and expansive than the brain-based models we currently have.
Nice. I like that.
And Jackson just stops tweeting me the pictures of cats. Graham don't live here anymore. You got to Instagram the cats to Graham, because I don't care about the cats.
Oh, I got a great picture of Zeus.
I think this is his cat, actually. His cat looks like the original Grumpy Cat.
Tell him to send it over to me, and I'll put it on there with Zeus. Oh, that's awesome.
And there's this one.
He's got the lion cut.
I tried to give my cat the lion cut by myself. We're not really.
Look at this picture of Zeus.
Oh, you're such a dork. Number 198. Once you put coffee in your ass, all bets are off. 199. You seem to have Teflon skin and just let it roll off. Yeah, let the shit roll right off his back and up his butt. We really are pretty low brow.
He's got to be picking out the worst.
Episode 200. I'm not editing shit. I'll just read the hate mail. And number 201. It might just be me, but the other host seems less than impressed with his stony baloney counterpart.
I forgot about the stony baloney.
James thinks my pseudonym should be Stone Balone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jackson, for the quotes.
Yeah. So I got a couple listener emails that might be appropriate for this episode of like Kundalini and life change and finding your path and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. What do you got?
You got a jingle?
Jangles?
You got a jingle for that?
For what?
I don't know. For this, it's kind of like a one of those a synchronicish kind of.
Synchronicish?
Yeah.
What's that? Is that synchronicish?
Synchronicity-ish kind of thing.
Synchronistic-ish.
So do a synchro jingle.
Synchro jingle?
Oh, I like this.
I want a good score for my synchronicity. If Graham reads it out, then Darren might give it to me. Hey, don't you please read it low. Yeah.
All right, this is from, does he say? I can say his name. This is from Shane. He says, Darren and Graham, and he spells it like Graham. He spells it like most people say it. Actually, he spells it like you say it. Yeah. I just wanted to tell you about an experience I had about a year ago. I had no name for it until I heard you mention Deja Real. This is how it's spelled. I know that these kinds of experiences are hard to convey over text because they are so personal, so I'll try and make some analogies or other examples. So here it is. I had just gotten a new job and I was working a lot. But one day I was walking down the shop floor and the sun was filtering in from the windows next to the roof on the right. As I walked through that warm sunbeam showing me all the dust in the air, I had this sinking feeling in my gut that I had seen all this before. The heaviness inside me never left all day. It was like I had done something that my conscience had told me was all wrong. I don't understand this feeling or why I was having it, so I dealt with it all day. At the end of the day, everyone leaves the parking lot to head home. The exit from the parking lot had a blind corner to the left and a straight road to the right. No one ever came from the left. Everyone always just pulled out and didn't look to see if anyone was coming. But that day, with all the strangeness I had felt, I looked both ways. And as I looked to that blind corner, I saw an 18-wheeler come barreling around the corner at a scary speed for a truck, and at a speed that was so fast for a truck that big on the road that small. If I had not stopped because of the weird feeling, I would have been crushed on the driver's side of my car by a semi-truck. And in that moment, I remembered the dream. Sorry for the caps, but it's the only way I could get the feeling across. It was like time slowed down and sped up at the same time. Reality slowed down as the semi went by in front of me. But I remembered the dream in full detail, and it all came back to me. I had the exact same dream. Everything that day had happened before. I even remember the feeling of the concussion of the semi hitting the side of my car, the glass shredding my face and arm, and the blackness that came after. All of the recall happened in those few seconds that the semi drove past. So I drove home to my wife and sat and thought about it. I told her about it, but it's something that's so hard to convey. I hope this made some kind of sense to you, semi-sense to you guys. Thanks for reading this. Crazy, eh?
It's a tough one to rate. I'll give it an 8
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
Since he didn't get killed.
I don't think he was really, doing it for a rating, but it's one of those like awareness things, right? You change, all of a sudden you're like, something's going on. A little bit more awareness, you slow down, angel. You don't. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like the third man effect or something like that.
Yeah, you got somebody looking out for you. Oh, thanks for the letter.
What do you think of that, Justin?
That sounds more like precog to me.
Yeah. But yet it was coming from a dream too.
It's like a ripple stick.
Yeah, I mean, coming from a dream, that's even more, precognition. I mean, if he had experienced the events before, I mean, that was like a vision, basically. He saw the future, in quotations.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got another one here. This is kind of appropriate as well. It's about singing bowls and a synchronicity and a trip report, feedback all together here. This is...
Psychedelics are catalysts of consciousness.
That is the best jingle.
I think that was a Neil D special.
Thanks to all the listeners who send in jingles.
Send in some more jingles. Actually, someone just said they wanted to help with a jingle.
Like we need did you want a donation jingle or something like that? Or support or... So this is, hello, Darren and Graham. I have some interesting updates since my last email about the crow synchronicities. Do you remember that one? That was pretty crazy. First of all, and most likely of most interest to you guys, I signed up for a monthly, the 555 option. So thanks, Eric. Secondly, soon after I wrote last, I booked a crystal bowl energy healing session with a local practitioner. What makes this particular practitioner interesting is the fact that the bowls she used, and most likely many the others used by people all around the world, were a waste product. She was telling me her story/journey about how she had always been drawn to sound energy, and because of what she has come to practice crystal bowl energy work. She told me that Corning Glass uses these crystal bowls as a crucible in the production of another product they make. Not exactly sure what this is, some sort of solid-state glass widget. The manufacturing process necessitates the use of different glass crucibles to heat whatever these items are to high temperatures. These crucibles are also made by Corning Glass and they're 99.98 fused quartz silica crystal, extremely high quality, and they're discarded after the heating process. In telling of her tale, she elaborated that along her spiritual/energetic path, she walked into a shop in South Carolina and felt the need to tell her story to the owner. This was unusual because in the past, when she told people that she was in charge of quality control and product management, in addition to being a physicist, she was usually met with blank stares and awkward silences. She told the owner where she was from and that the owner experienced that she'd been trying to get in contact with Corning Inc. all day in an effort to purchase more of these amazing crystal bowls. Little did she, the owner of the shop, know that she was trying to purchase was a waste product. It was no surprise when the man on the other end of the phone repeatedly hung up on her when she wanted more chakra bowls. After a quick call from the product management physicist on staff at Corning and a few technical jargony words, more bowls were on their way. Kind of a neat coincidence, I think, considering she was from the town that made the bowls and me being local as well. Anyway, the experience of the crystal bowls on me. I laid down and let the crystal bowl energy begin to overtake me. Each new note I could feel so powerfully in my entire being. Individually, the notes from the bowls I could physically feel vibrate me at the specific area where they were attuned to. After a few rounds of individual notes washing over my body and my energy, she began to play a combination of notes. The dual pitches were phenomenal and evoked emotions, feelings, and sensations unique to the dually vibrating harmonies. The sensation I can best describe as a warm, thick liquid on one side of my body and pleasantly washing to the other. Not long after she began this mind completely, not long after she began this, my mind completely separated from my body. I know that I was not asleep, but I do not have a very strong recollection of the time that she was playing these dual pitches. It was so close to an out-of-body experience. I do not have any visual memories, audio memories, or physical. It was like I was just turned off. I do not even have a really good idea of how long she did this for. Slowly after she finished, I came back to consciousness and began to flex and move my extremities. Session over, energies modulated, mind open to the amazing sensations of crystal healing. I loved it. For at least 3 days after, I carried the positivity and the balanced feelings from the experience. Again, I loved it. So there you have it, a feedback/trip report, experience report. Not really sure what to call it, except just plain awesome. Keep up the great work, fellas.
Nice. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Those bulls, they do weird shit, man.
I know. Believe me, I've used them on my girlfriend all the time for healing, and it works like a damn.
I was listening to that Monroe music again the other day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Which one? The shamanic sounding one?
Yeah. Oh, let me check here. It's that one album is the one I like the best.
Could be the one I listened to in the float tank.
I think it's the
Dreaming Gate?
Yeah, Ritual.
Yeah, the Dreaming Gate, yeah. Yeah, that one's, that's like my favorite.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah. Similar to the experience I had with the bowls, too, when I went to the sound bath and the meditation, and like...
Oh, yeah, this is one.
Yeah.
The didgeridoos get crazy.
That song is good. Go to the first one.
That's the shit I was listening to on mushrooms in the psilocybus episode.
Yeah.
Which is now semi-available again.
So you found it?
Well, yeah. Gainer sent it over from the UK. He had it. So
Nice.
I'm going to... he had to send it in pieces, so I just got to patch it back together, and then I'm going to put it in... what I think I'm going to do is upload it to the MAGA account, and then I'll just have a URL that if you like spamgram and ask, we can send it to you if we think you're cool.
That's the mushroom episode?
Yeah.
Maybe if you're going to piece it together, you should just take out the Tiesto music in case...
We get sued back to the Stone Age.
Keep that one on there, but just remove the Tiesto one.
Is that the one that got us in trouble?
I don't know what one got us in trouble, but...
One did get us in trouble.
On YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What else?
Ironically, that it's that episode, too, right?
I know.
That focus all of YouTube on there. So, yeah, that was good. No, I had some similar experiences. Whenever I do that crystal bowl stuff and I'm in that sound bath, it's like it totally relaxes you so much, it really knocks me out. Like it almost puts me to sleep. So you have those hypnagogic kind of states and you're sort of slipping in and out of consciousness.
I'm due for some mushrooms.
Yeah, we should do a crystal bowl thing. Actually, my friends Steve and Corinne might be doing that. They have all the didgeridoos and crystal bowls in their basement. It's awesome.
I wonder how much a didgeridoo is.
He's got like all the chakras, 6 of them, I think. Didgeridoos.
Ooh, maybe I could use... You're going to be gone. You should leave me your keys.
You want to look after Zeus? I got to ask you about that, actually.
Me and Joey need a place.
Yeah? I come back, Zeus is dead.
There's a fire in the corner. No, we just want to, maybe trip out sometime over the holidays.
Sure, man.
And then I can take care of your cat.
I'll talk to you about that later.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else? You have time for me one more?
No, I don't have anything else, actually. Well, I should have.
You got anything, Justin?
No, how about a UFO quote?
Okay.
Good thing somebody's fucking paying attention.
Down in Graham, going deep. It's a profound UFO quote of the week. profound UFO quote of the week.
All right. So this one is... This is a gooder. Okay.
Gooder?
Most scientists have never had the occasion to confront evidence concerning the UFO phenomena. To a scientist, the main source of hard information, other than his own experiences and observations, is provided by the scientific journals. With rare exceptions, scientific journals do not publish reports on UFO observations. The decision not to publish is made by the editor acting on the advice of reviewers. This process is self-reinforcing. The apparent lack of data confirms the view that there is nothing to the UFO phenomena, and this view, prejudice, works against the presentation of relevant data. That is Peter A. Sturrock, an analysis of the Condon Report on the Colorado UFO Project, the Journal of Scientific Exploration, Volume 1, Number 1, 1987.
Dun, dun, dun. This is a good one.
Nice.
Thanks for saving the quote. Did we do a quote last episode?
No, we forgot, actually.
I don't think you guys did one for the
quote of the week. Slowly fucking
No, I got lots left, fading. Man. I got lots left. No.
So you guys know how I get the quote of the week for the newsletter? I listen to every episode, and I start Googling the first part of it until I get enough, and I search it, and then I find whatever quote that you used, and then I'll copy and paste it.
Nice. Graham has them all on a nice list.
I know. He could just send them to me, but no, he makes me work.
And then he doesn't even fucking do the quote, so you listen to the whole show and there's not even a quote there.
That's pretty much,
and then you're like, wait, did I miss it? I gotta go back.
Yeah, I've actually done that a few times.
Okay,
have we missed a quote more than once?
Well, I used to do it. No, I used to do the quotes from the emails, right? For quite a while there. The Podesta emails. There were some good ones in there.
Yeah, there were some good ones in there.
Graham is an all-in believer in chemtrails.
I'm saving that one, buddy.
My hand slipped.
Yeah, I got a Bigfoot quote for you.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, where's my jingle?
Jingle for you? Let's go.
Oh, you got a jingle?
Best I can do is...
I'm sure they exist. Jane Goodall. Yeah, pretty good, right? There's a lot of build up there.
I have the buyer's remorse.
That was during an interview with an NPR reporter.
I like it.
That's pretty good. Jane Goodall, she's been told, or she's said many times that she'd be very surprised if they didn't exist.
Yeah, because she knows that when people see them, they know the difference between an ape and a Sasquatch, or a bear and a Sasquatch.
I mean, I think she's admitted that, it's definitely weird and strange and odd that no hide or hair, conclusively has been found, but she's read all the reports and she'd be very surprised if they didn't exist. That's saying a lot.
I cannot believe the fucking controversy that's coming up over us even talking about doing a flat Earth show.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you guys if you were ready for that.
It's like we've got more comments on that in the last week than on anything else. And it's like half of them are saying yeah and suggesting people, and the other people are saying don't fucking do it. Down the middle.
Yeah. It's great. We're in a no-win situation right now. It's flat Earth or no.
Here's the latest one. Don't do a flat Earth show. You are Grimerica. Those flat Earthers are known to practice circumcision with cheese graters. That's pretty harsh. So the funny thing is, that's the guy that James didn't like the comment about
That's funny.
The chip, but James texts pretty much the exact same thing. So they're probably better friends than they think. It's been pretty funny though.
Well, I have a hard time with the doing the flat Earth one because I feel like it's just full of shillery. People.
Well, everyone just spam Graham and tell him what you think.
I've already got a couple lined up. I've already got more feedback than on most episodes from Above the Flat Earth.
Really?
People suggesting
Everywhere.
guests.
Same with on YouTube.
Suggesting guests. But they were really good emails. They were very, like, down the middle. Like, you guys, I understand what you're going through. I'm not sure what you should do about either, but if you do have one, have this guy on. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have the best listeners.
We do have the best listeners. Yeah. We really need to put them through that. Anyway, we'll talk about it more next week. We'll think about it. You guys should enjoy the chat with Nitin Adsul, Nitin like kitten, and
about the Kundalini. This was a fun chat.
Yeah,
they're doing really good work at LifeForce Academy there.
And Christmas is coming, so give the gift of Grimerica for Christmas and tell somebody about the show. Other than that, enjoy the chat with Nitin.
Tonight we have Nitin Adsul with us, and he's the co-founder of LifeForce Academy. And he's also an award-winning film director, and he's got a documentary called Kundalini. That's definitely something we're going to be talking about tonight is Kundalini. And, of course, the LifeForce Academy, which is basically helping people evolve and grow their consciousness to basically higher levels. So it's going to be an interesting chat. I've got some personal stuff that I want to ask him. And so welcome to the show, Nitin. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Darren just got over a cold and I've got it. So excuse me if we have to cough or sneeze a couple times here.
I'm 100%.
You're 100% now? Good. I picked up what he had last week. So, yeah, thanks for coming on. I mean, it was really, I've wanted to talk about Kundalini for a while. Mm-hmm. And I looked at your website and the LifeForce Academy, and it looks really interesting. So, glad to talk to you. Do you want to start, I guess, a little bit of talk about LifeForce Academy, and then we can get into some of the details about Kundalini and meditation a little later on?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. LifeForce Academy is a platform that we have put on. My partner, Mr. Tim Gosser, who is based in UK, and myself, we have started this platform to promote the life force energy that is within us, and which is our right to use this life force energy to be more conscious and work with our true natural gifts and talents. There are many, many people who have a lot of talents, but they don't have proper direction, proper sense, and how to use your own energies within you safely to become conscious and become who you are. So this platform is going to provide them services, classes, workshops, webinars, retreats, many events, as well as people who have used this life force energy and done something better in their life will be coming on show, will be talking, will be teaching. So we'll be creating a platform to learn. And at the same time, this platform will be very, very useful for teachers, for guides who are at that level of higher consciousness, who know this knowledge, this scientific perspective of it, who have studied this ancient knowledge of all the techniques, not religious way, but more of a spiritual way. Mm-hmm. But they don't have a real platform to go and project their knowledge, and others can see from that. There are many gurus who have their own organizations, and then it becomes into that box oh, I'm the guru, this is my structure, this is my organization, and people just go to that. But I think this knowledge is so unique, but at the same time, this knowledge is very common, and it is part of us, or us as human beings. So it has to be available widely. It has to be available by default. We don't need to go to a guru and his organization to join it. I think we need to have a platform which is like we have computers. Anybody can buy computers. Anybody can buy mobile phone. Anybody can buy anything that they want, their basic needs. So I think this education is part of the basic needs. What we study in college, what we study in school is okay. They give you job, they give you work, they give you some kind of temporary things like mortgage, home, and everything. But the real education of who you are, why are you here, and what is the real secret of bringing that peace and happiness and love in your life, those secrets are never told to the common people. And I think that's why we have created this platform, and it will be very useful for people to learn. And this is not going to change overnight. This will be a slow process. But this platform will start helping people to become more real, become more awake, and really see things. So that's the essence of LifeForce Academy. And this is an academy where people with knowledge will be coming and talking and spreading the knowledge, and we'll be having different levels of educations for everyone at all levels.
So can you learn? So like if you're learning quite a bit about this, it sounded like you're teaching teachers, so then you can become a teacher at the academy as well for some people?
It will be. There will be people with different levels of knowledge, and as they start learning, they start teaching, they also start learning the advanced levels. So they will start graduating more and more and more at higher levels and start becoming teachers. So yes, we will have the teacher programs, we will have the classes for common people as well as people who want to learn and start teaching as well.
Nice. And a lot of this is online, right?
It will be mainly online, but there will be more advanced courses in person as well. So there will be retreats in person as well. It's always makes more difference if you have one-on-one session in person. So those will be also integrated in our services. And as you asked before, there will be teachers, because we ourselves cannot do everything. So we need to create more leaders. Those leaders will create more leaders, and that's how it will spread.
Are you going to sign up, Gav? Become the local Alberta Kundalini guy? Yeah. What's Kundalini mean?
Kundalini is a Sanskrit word meaning coiled up. It's an energy of consciousness that's stuck or that's coiled up within a human body. Kundalini is a Sanskrit name, but this is nothing to do with Hindu religion. This is an energy that we are all born with. We all have the potential to rise this energy. This energy is called as Qi in Asian Chinese language. Different religions have explained it in their ancient scriptures, and they call it
prana.
Prana, Qi, energy, spirit.
Looks kind of like a serpent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Sometimes they call it the serpent, I think, too.
Serpent energy. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's like when it rises, it's like a serpent awakens. That's why they call it serpent energy. The serpent is coiled up at the base of your spine. And if you see when the spine is like a serpent which is standing up, and that's why it's called a serpent energy. And there are many symbolic representations that all lead to serpent symbols through this energy. You must have seen it in different ancient scriptures. The serpent symbol.
Mm-hmm.
You even see that serpent symbol in the medical association. You see the two serpent coiled up and they're going up like DNA structure. So the medical industry also uses this symbol.
Yeah. So is that kind of the main focus of LifeForce Academy, is about the Kundalini and the LifeForce, and then there's all this other stuff that's built around that?
It starts with the LifeForce. It starts with the energy. But it goes beyond and beyond. Just Kundalini is not just the end of the cycle or end of this consciousness. It's just a start, and there are levels and levels and levels. But yeah, we have to start with the Kundalini energy, with the life force energy, and then expand. There are many levels of energy that go up and up with your higher self, with your true nature. In different planes of consciousness, we will explore. But essence is, yes, it's an energy. We are all made up of energy. Solid objects, they are made of same energy, except their vibration is low. So that's why they are solid objects. Versus our vibration is high. We have more life force inside us. So yeah, to learn the consciousness, we start with life force, we start with energy, and then build upon that.
So could you go into maybe how you would, if somebody came to you and they wanted to learn some of the first steps that you would go through for them to recognize that they have this energy and that how to start working with it?
Yes, everyone has this energy. Everyone has this energy at different level. Some people's energies are at higher levels, so they are able to express, do some things more aggressively, and they're leading their life. But if somebody's energy is at low level, we go through and first we'll have to see what's impacting the energies to not rise to that level that the person can start doing what he's supposed to do on this planet Earth. Most of the time, we ourselves are stuck with our own pain, suffering, and anger. Since childhood until today, we have suffered, there are so many good things have happened to us, but we always remember the unpleasant things. And those are stuck, those emotional imprints are stuck in our mind, body, soul. And that's where there are blockages and the energy doesn't rise up. So when a person comes to learn, he wants to rise his Kundalini, work with the consciousness, we go through a deep level of meditations, deep level of talking, bringing those old emotional issues to the surface so that we can release those. We do that through meditation. We do that through visualization techniques. We create an energetic environment where the seed of consciousness starts growing. Every person has this energy. Every person has this seed. All we do is we fertilize this seed. We put this fertilizers and water and sun so that the seeds start growing. And those techniques are, let go the old, let go the fear, let go the anger, and start bringing this beautiful happiness and love inside you so that your Kundalini can start rising. So that's the essence that we start. And then we have different levels of educations and classes that we run to make a person ready to awaken this Kundalini energy. The body has to be tuned. The diet has to be right. The mindset, the person's thought has to be clear and pure. Because even an ill thought, a thought of our anger or pain or rage against other person will create a block inside you and the energy won't flow. So it has to start with purity, cleansing and cleanliness about how to clean your body, be truthful, be honest, and also have a pure mind, as well as the diet and food and any habits that you do. We start balancing this person. So when the person is a real pure human being, then the energy is really freely rising within you.
What if this Kundalini is awakened into somebody who's not ready?
It happens. It happens many times. Sometimes the Kundalini awakens by accidents to your tailbone, and the person is not ready to. The Kundalini rises, and then you may have some unpleasant experiences because your body is not ready. You are not ready. Our nervous system is a very intelligent nervous system, but if it's not used, it's like electric circuit in your home. If the wires are old, and if you try to start switch on the buttons to lit everything, if the wires are old, there might be short circuits and there might be fire. So same thing with the body. If your nervous system is not ready to handle this energy, inside you, then yeah, you may have unpleasant experiences with this energy. You might be bedridden. You might sometimes get some physical kriyas or senses that you won't be able to handle, and medical industry may not understand what's going on with that person. So it can be challenging. And that is why it is very necessary to start bringing the purity and cleanliness before we start working on the energy. But you're right. If by accident or if you are try to force the energy to awaken in you before you're a responsible person, then you either will have unpleasant experience with that, or if the Kundalini is with you and you're not responsible enough to handle the power, you may abuse others. You may try to use that power to control others or do things that you need for your selfish desires. And that has happened. There are many dictators in the history who were awakened with this kind of power, but they control the masses. So that's happened, and that happens in corporate world. If a responsible person is given authority, made a CEO or a vice president of a company, if he's not honest or is not responsible, his actions may damage the company. Employees will suffer. The company may go down. So before giving this power to a person, we need to make sure that person can handle that power. A right CEO, a right VP needs to be appointed to the company. Same thing with this mind, body, and soul. In order for a person to consciously use this energy, a person has to be ready. Honesty, purity, those are the qualities that needs to be practiced before the power can be used.
Have you guys seen any healing at all? Like, do people come to you with chronic physical issues or even maybe emotional issues, and then by the time they go through this process, they're getting better?
Yes, many of such cases. Many of the people they come with emotional issues, pranic issues, energy issues, and we work through healing, energetic healing with them, and they're getting a lot of benefits and a lot of peace and harmony, and a lot of surrender or a lot of forgiveness is necessary sometimes for them to come to balance.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it happens right away. Sometimes it takes some more time. But yeah, there is always a success. There is always a progress that we have seen on all of the people that we have treated so far, or we'll be able to help so far.
Huh. What about? Do you have something, Derek?
Where do you start? Like, if you had a block, say, because, it's pretty tough to go all day without even thinking something.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy who cut me off. Now I'm all blocked up. How do I get rid of this? I know how I get rid of it personally, but it's probably not the most healthy way.
Yeah. Well, there are many ways. Nothing is going to change overnight. It's a process. But I think we have to remember that, only our own ourselves can change ourselves. Not anybody can give you. I think we can always get guidance, but a person has to make a conscious decision. It's enough. I need to change my life. I need to take control of my life. This is it. I'm not going to hate anybody. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be unnecessarily say anything or show my middle finger to this person. Let him cut him off. I will just bless him. I think that thing needs to happen. And in everybody's life, that point comes when a person really surrenders and says, oh, this is it. I want to do it. So there are ways, there are yoga, there is meditation, there are breathing. There are so many techniques out there. But a real start only starts when a person really makes a commitment, a personal commitment to self. I need to take mastery of my life. And that's when it will start. Meanwhile, we just have to make progress. Just keep whatever best we could do to be mindful of every thought, every action. Mindfulness. If you're watching TV, just watch TV. Just watching movie, just watch movie. Don't eat and watch TV. Don't read something and watch TV. Just start focusing, giving an attention to one thing at a time. That will start bringing this awareness, being in the moment. And as you start becoming in the moment, slowing down, then if somebody cuts you off, it doesn't bother you, because the person cuts you off, that moment is gone, and you are still in the moment. You're in the next moment, and then you forgive that person. You don't even remember. It's like, when you're driving from your home to your office, you pass so many roads, but you don't remember exactly every day. Oh, I saw this person on the road. I saw this car on the person. But you only remember somebody who cuts you off. But when you becoming more mindful and living in moment to moment to moment, those other things that would have bothered you otherwise won't even bother you. Staying in the moment is the best thing. Start coming to the moment right now. That's it. This moment is past. Next moment. Right now.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people. No, I've seen people change. I used to be a frustrating driver. Now I honestly, I don't give a shit if somebody cuts me off.
So frustrating.
Today, actually, I was on the phone with Darren today, and I almost rear-ended a guy. See, but I didn't even yell at him or honk.
Well, there's some what the fucks. Graham's thing isn't a cutoff. It's more if they're in the fast lane when he's trying to get going down the highway. But I like it. That's just sort of the fuck it, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Don't have time for this.
Yeah, it's just why hold all that resentfulness and anger? It's just really hurting yourself. It's not doing anything to the guy that cut you off. Like,
I like to think it is sometimes.
No. So how do you reconcile if you have all these different people coming in to learn and to teach in your academy? Mm-hmm. And, you mentioned that there's a lot of similarities to these spiritual practices, but there is a lot of uniqueness as well. So what about different views, like world views of people that come in? Like some people might think that, reincarnation, like your soul has a contract here in this life. And then some people may not believe that. Like, how do you reconcile for people coming in to teach at your academy, those different sort of core beliefs about the world?
Yeah, there will be differences. Some people will say they learn this way, they know this way, and reincarnation not everybody believes in. But we won't go into those more details until in the advanced levels. Mm-hmm. We start very softly and gently with common examples, day-to-day examples, like this. Somebody cutting you off, and we start with that, and we start teaching or start guiding that person. And as we start going into advanced levels, that person is more open to receive. That person is more open, more mindful, more in the moment to understand what the other person is saying. Every religion, every modalities are almost going the same destination, but they're just finding different ways to get there. But as long as the teaching is showing that you're going to go at the same place, then it doesn't matter which way you go. Everything will lead to that. So we are not bothered much about religious way and other stuff because we are not focusing on that. We are more focused on scientific way, how to give day-to-day examples, how to relate with science, and how science could explain what we are saying. For example, law of karma is like Newton's law. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. So it's a scientific law, which is the law of karma. If you do bad to others, the bad things will happen to you. If you do good, the good things will happen to you. If you keep doing good things will happen to you, and you thank you to the good things, those good things will stop as well, because the moment you react, the thing stops. So we have to keep doing good things again and again to keep good things happening again and again. So all those laws, law of attraction, for example, it's also scientific law. Mm-hmm. So as long as we focus and teach based on spirituality and science integration, we don't see any conflict that will come through it. And if some person has some explanation needed, we do it softly. We try to convince whatever best we could do, and one day people will realize, this was right, and they will come back. So no force is. We're not teaching with any force. It's open forum, it's open platform, and people will come as they feel natural and learn.
Nice.
And at the same time, we create. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to talk a bit about the science as well in a bit, but I want to get your take on what happened to me a few years ago, because I don't think I thought of it as Kundalini at the time, but now that I think back on it, I think that that's what was happening. And I was at this sound and breath workshop. It was kind of like called a Vision Quest, and we were just a group of us were lying in this room, and there's a bunch of there's a couple of healers there and some ancient instruments, like some didgeridoos and some crystal bowls and all this kind of stuff. And it was really, really a fascinating experience. And there was a bigger one before, like the week before, which there was like about 50 people in a room. And I felt my body vibrating quite a bit during that. But in this smaller session, we did this breathing exercise and then these instruments. And this guy came over me with a didgeridoo, and he literally did something to my root chakra, like popped my root chakra, and it started spinning. And then that sort of sensation went to my next two chakras, and they were spinning.
Wow.
And the lady with the crystals came behind me, and she put one of the crystals, her big crystals, into my crown. And she did something there, and my crown and my third eye started vibrating.
Wow.
And then I was thinking to myself, like, and my whole body was slightly vibrating, but I could really, like, I'd always sort of believed in chakras, but I've never physically felt them before. And this was a physical feeling. Like, I could feel these centers of energy physically vibrating and spinning.
Right.
And I was thinking the only ones that aren't is my heart and my throat. And the guy came over, the healer guy came over, and wouldn't he just put one hand on my heart or one hand on my throat? And he did his little, like, hands-on healing thing, and he pulled his hands off, and those two chakras just started spinning as well. Nice. And then he came back down, and he just checked briefly. It's like he just checked in, and then he let it go, and then all of them were spinning together in this, like, this wave of energy flowing up and down through them. So, you know, and that was quite the physical. Like for me, I'm not as visual. Like, I won't really have like a visualization experience or some sort of like hallucinatory thing. It's more like physical sensations of vibrations and stuff like that. So that's what happened a few years ago, and it was really a profound experience. And then now when I think back, I thought maybe that was some sort of Kundalini awakening.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely the channels, the centers, they were open and vibrating, so that your energy can start flowing up, and all these things that you just mentioned, vibrations and opening of those centers is basically the building blocks for energy to rise, to energy to flow through. These centers are the wheels of, wheels of energies. They push the energy from one place to other, up. So that's what it happened. That person or whatever retreat that you went, they opened up your centers, your chakras. And it's all physical. It's real. It happens. You feel it physically. When I had my Kundalini experience, it was very physical. I could feel it. And that's how it is. And a person who experiences it, he only can experience the beautiful feeling about it, and can explain it. It cannot be shown, it cannot be told, as much as a person experiences it. That fascination is different. But yeah, it was. I truly believe that was the Kundalini energy awakening building blocks that were created that time. And I'm not sure how long it lasted, that sensation. But I think once your centers and chakras are open, like permanently open, the energy is continuously continuously keeps flowing up and up and up. That's the goal. You got to keep this energy circuit on all the time. So the energy flowing up and down as needed.
Well, it's interesting the timing of that, because now that I think about it as well, like I was on a bit of a quest. I was doing all kinds of different things like meditations and sweat lodges and all kinds of stuff like that. But I think it was shortly after that I really did sort of, we started this podcast. Like I felt like things really came together as far as like following like my path a little bit more.
Right.
So I feel like I'm sure that had something to do with putting me on the right path as well.
Yes. It's not only just that put you on path. I think you somehow took a step. I want to do this. I want to get this. And you took one step towards the divinity or towards that path. And then it happened to you. So you put yourself in that higher vibration place, and then higher vibration started tuning you more. So that's how it starts. That's how the adventure starts. And then the new life started with this podcast and work that you've been doing. So that energy is flowing through you and came to. So that's beautiful. That's how it should be. That's how every person should find the path. And that way the life becomes more happier. And we're not competing with each other, but we are complementing with each other with our work.
Well, and more people that have these personal experiences as well. Like for me, that was an undeniable physical thing there. And whether, our mainstream science wants to acknowledge this life force or not, it's there. Yes. And I feel like more and more scientists and doctors are coming on board in a way. Like I've been listening to more of this health and wellness side of things, like almost more of the extreme biohacking and the athletes and stuff. But a lot of them are very spiritual too. And there's these doctors and these scientists who have all this science of health and wellness, but they're also talking about meditation and yoga, and they're very spiritual minded. So I feel like in some ways it's happening, and there's an acceptance to this, to the chi, the prana, the life force, and all this. But do you guys? And I know that you guys are talking about science and spirituality together, and it sounds like one of your goals is to increase or bring it to the mainstream science. So can you talk a little bit about that, or do you guys have any ideas on how you might try and do that?
Yes, absolutely. You are on the spot, what you said. Doctors, medical practitioners, sports people, they are all starting to acknowledge there is this life force within. There are so many cases they have seen in medical, emergencies where, a person dies and comes back. And when he dies, he sees this energetic environment around, and he's part of that other person, a part of the table, part of the chair, part of the universe. So there are mysteries everywhere since history until today. But they think that it's magic or it's hallucination, but it's not. It's the real thing. We are all made up of this energy. It's a life force energy. We, in this, our rat race, in this world, we forget about this reality. But yes, people are starting to realize science is researching on it. There are many scientific researches and studies have been going on, but it's not come out on mainstream yet. And that's our goal. We need to help towards that. The way that we feel it can be done is scientific research needs funding. Scientific research needs money. That's one part. And second part is the science needs to feel the force or pressure. The scientific community, the research assistants, they need to feel there's a pressure. We need to work on it. So that's why more and more people need to start talking about life force energy, start doing yoga, start doing meditation, start having this experience. There are millions of people all over the world having these experiences, but they just keep it to themselves. They need to come out and talk about it. We have a lot of media. We have this webcast. We have television. We have TV channels. We have this internet. More and more people start talking about it. Obviously, it become mainstream. People will then start doing more research on it. So that's what we want to do. We want to spread this LifeForce Academies through and let common people talk about their energy, talk about their experience, then see how the world starts changing. And then we will do these events, we will do workshops, and the funds that we gather, the money that we earn, we will put portion of that money for scientific research. We will sponsor the scientific, the scientists, the research laboratories to fund. LifeForce Academy will fund those researches. So that's what we want to do. So at one side, we want to awake all these people, common people, to come and talk about it, educate them, teach them. At the same time, the money that comes from those teaching and classes, we channel it to these laboratories for scientific research. And that's how we will start bridging the gap.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. Do you have any questions, Darren?
Do you have any, is there any place people can help you out? Like, do you guys have any sort of active crowdfunding or anything like that?
We are establishing that. That will be established on our website and announced very soon. We have many supporters in this field who are very highest level of Kundalini and spirits and life force energy who are supporting us, who are part of our academy. And through them, we will be opening up some more channels of education and teaching. But obviously, we need some funding to sustain ourselves. Right now, we are not seeking anything as a donation or anything. We want to work and help other people to earn money as well. So that's how this platform is being created. But obviously, if there is an organization who is willing to collaborate and help us to help us to sustain and do this work, we will welcome. We just want pure people with purity and clarity. Anybody that comes and help us, we need to feel it. Okay, this is not for any selfish agenda. This is for really want to help to others. To mechanism. Yes, obviously they will become our collaborators. We'll be open to receive the funding and as well as support the funding.
Yeah. I remember. Speaking of science and that type of stuff, one of the things I think we're going to hear a lot about is the power of your breath, and how science is starting to figure out that it really does auto-regulate your autonomic nervous system, I think, and your autoimmune system. And there's this guy named Iceman, his name is Wim Hof, who does this breathing technique, and he can submerge himself in ice and run run marathons in the freezing cold and all in his shorts and all this kind of stuff. And I've experienced that recently myself, where being dunked in cold water, and if you just focus on your breath and slowing down your breath, long, slow, deep breaths, like the cold goes away. Like you can actually just feel like this comfort level. And I've been talking to friends about it. And like the other night, my friends were talking about how they're teaching their kids to breathe deeply and how they're going to set up some courses for conscious breathing. And I know
have a ball.
And I know in myself, do you have a ball for breathing?
For the kids.
Really?
One of those like mechanical ones that gets big and small, they like.
And the breath opens it up, or?
No, but that's like how you can visualize it for.
When
you want them to. But it works. If they're going fucking ballistic and you can get them to take like, a half a dozen deep breaths.
It calms them right down?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I'm always telling, my girlfriend to breathe deep and even in yoga or other stuff, like when I'm focusing on my breath, it's much easier than if I'm stuck in my head, I'm trying to do yoga, it's like suffering. It's difficult. Yeah. But if I can focus on my breath, it really does change your experience physically. So I think that'll be an area that is somewhat easy for science to see, like what does the breath do to your body and how does that affect your performance levels, your body's immune system and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Agree. Completely agree. And we use it many times. Many times we are stressed. Our mom or dad who have told us, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
But if there is a science behind it, when you take a deep breath, you come back to your sense. You come back to the moment. You come back and your mind, body, soul start talking with each other. So the deep breath is very, very, very important. And the example that you gave, and you yourself experienced it. Yeah, if you're focused on your breath, that's the essence. That's the prana. In yoga, it's not about stretching. It's about breathing and sending that breath to that part of the body when you're doing yoga, the part of the body that you're stretching, sending the breath, the energy there, so that you're rejuvenating those cells there. You're sending the energy for those cells.
How do you do that? I just stretch and breathe. Does it happen automatically, or do I have to?
No. You can focus on breathing through that part of your body, like breathing in or out through that part of your body.
Huh.
Right.
I've been doing it wrong.
I'm surprised. You've been stretching lately?
Yeah, I stretch. The older I get, the more I stretch.
Do your kids do yoga, right, Darren? I mean,
My kids do yoga, yeah.
Do you notice a difference with them if they're in that space at all, or not really?
No, they're not there yet with the breathing. They just do the stretching, and it's fun. It tires her out more than anything, so we do it before bed.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you talk about the breathing with them at all, or teach?
I don't.
Is that what the ball is for, to teach them how to breathe?
Yeah, Lisa teaches them how to. I don't. I throw on the Cosmic Kids yoga and hit play. Frankie the Frog bedtime yoga.
Because wouldn't that be important?
But, the chick who does it is great.
Yeah.
She's got a bunch of them. The kids love her. It's like she does her yoga in front of a green screen and then puts this crazy background on it for the kids. And Madison just loves her.
Oh, cool. So they're doing lots of yoga for kids out there and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Huh.
Nice.
Huh. Yeah, it's interesting.
But it's not like it's on cable.
No. This is separate.
You have to fucking seek it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh. So is there anything else that we haven't touched on as far as LifeForce goes and some of the types of courses and stuff that you do for people?
Yeah, it's a vast topic, and we can go into more deep knowledge. Really start getting this supernatural powers as well at the advanced level. We are not fully human yet. We have eyes, we have ears. But the eyes really we just look, we don't see. When your life force energy is fully active, you are able to use the superhuman potential. You don't need cell phone or mobile to talk to anyone. You can just hear, or you can just send the message to the person on the other side of planet. That kind of potential or beyond that can be achieved if you are fully awake with this life force energy. So we go through those advanced and super advanced levels of learnings and teachings as well, step by step. Make sure that person is ready and ready and responsible to take on the new knowledge. We
had a fellow on recently who teaches people how to have out of body experiences and to do astral travel. And do you guys, does it get to that at all? Is that something that you would help people with, or is that a little bit too,
these are all techniques. These are all gifts that come, but that's not the goal. Oh, I need to do astral travel. That's why I want to learn this. It's part of it, the gift that will come to you. If need be, in a situation to help others, it's good to know about astral travel. But we don't teach it. Hey, this is the astral travel course. No, it's if a person's life force energy as it awakens, as it goes by chakra, and then there are higher chakras even outside of your realm. Mm-hmm. Each chakra give you a specific gift. But you don't want to stuck there. Oh, I got this gift. I'm there. That's it. I'm happy. Then your ego comes in and, oh, look what I have. So we keep learning. It's like, you want to go to the 100th floor or even on the top floor. You're on the 80th floor and you see the neighbor and you like the neighbor and you start talking to the neighbor and you're stuck there. But you have to go up and up and up. So, yeah, the astral travels, the other features of intuition and power and, everything comes, but we have to keep growing. So our goal is to not market, oh, you will get this gift or that gift, The goal is to become more conscious so you can see what is your purpose on this planet Earth and seek towards it. That's the ultimate goal. So our courses will be based on those teachings.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's super important. I think it's very important. The more people start realizing how to stay in the moment and just do these simple practices, and then it really is like a snowball, and it keeps going.
Right.
What about food? Is there any like food I can eat to fuck with my Kundalini? There's got to be like that's got to play a factor too, right?
Like pork.
I ain't giving up my pork.
Well, yeah, it happens when the time comes. I think there is no strict formula. You have to use this food or that food. Sometimes to bring your body in balance, you need to eat meat. Sometimes you need to give up the meat to bring purity and cleanliness. But there's a lot of craving that we have put on our bodies. We have been conditioned. Really, if you really see, our body doesn't need food. We can, if you're really working with life force energy, we can sense and we can absorb the energy from the universe. We can absorb the energy from sun, and we can use that energy to sustain. We don't need real food, but our bodies have been conditioned to eat fruits, vegetables, meat, pork, chicken. Carbs, yeah. So slowly but softly, we can start letting go the habits, and then less food, less and less food. It doesn't matter what food you eat, but less and less. Become more conscious. Then take more steps. Start taking some fast and smoothies or juice, green vegetables only, or smoothie of green vegetables. Anything that is live food. Not dead food, like no cookies. Cookies are dead. There is no life in it. No cake. There is no life in it. But vegetables and fruits, because there are life in it. There are seeds in it. If that fruit goes into the ground, it will create a tree. So eat those kind of things which are live, and those things will start bringing more and more cleaning inside you, and your cells will start absorbing that energy and start becoming live. Your nervous system will become awake. But if you eat pork or if you eat chicken, it's good to get proteins, but they're still dead. You're eating dead stuff, and that's you're really not alive. Your whole consciousness is not alive. So the more and live you eat, you will become more lively and
that's
more.
Interesting.
Yeah. But you let go.
Doesn't it work that way with, I was watching a show last night with some African tribes, Ethiopian cowboys, and they like guard their cows, but they have this chain, and that like once, I don't know how often they did it, I missed that part because I wasn't focusing on just one thing, but they have this chain and they choke it around the cow's neck real tight. It looks real crazy, and then they shoot an arrow through his jugular, and they fill up the bucket with blood. And then but they do this, and then the cow still lives. So they like cycle through their cows, and they actually treat their cows a lot better than we treat our cows. But yeah, then they're just out in the jungle drinking this blood because they think it gives them power.
Right.
But I wonder if that from that standpoint, something like that would almost be better for you than eating the meat of something you've killed.
Exactly. Something live, something real. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, it's funny because I was just talking to my friends again about like the people that just like the sun gazers, and that the sun is really more important than we ever thought. That it does have important nutrients and stuff with it. And we've been scared, culturally that you got to layer up with sunscreen because it's going to give you cancer and all this. When really we should be out in the sun more. We should be absorbing the sun more and eating vegetables and all that. But those 2 pieces of Black Forest cake today were so good. That's the problem. It's so hard. Like the carbs, like I'm conditioned to eat carbs and sugar. I mean, but there's also these like high-end athletes that are doing 10-day fasts and 3 5-day fasts. And I mean, people say that after a few days of fasting and having no food and only water, that you actually get more energy for a while there.
Exactly. Because these carbs and other food are actually blocking. The real energy is blocked. So when you start eating this nutritious and live food, you get enormous energy, as much of energy that you want to take on the world. That much of higher energy you get.
Yeah, I got to start really focusing more on that, the diet part.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty good right now, but it's just like if there's cake around, it's hard for me to say no. But I definitely don't have any of that in my house. Like the part of the key thing for me is like don't have the shit in my house, and then I won't eat it, right? But it's at work in the office. If there's donuts, and it's hard to say no to a donut. But for the most part, it's pretty good. Trying to eat a little bit more fish, the odd steak, but trying to eat more vegetables and make a good green smoothie and stuff like that in the morning.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, this has been a great chat. Is there anything else that you think we should talk about before we let you go?
No, just wanted to, share what we are doing and what we are moving forward with. We will be making a lot of films and documentaries and media work as well at the same time. Take interviews of people who are with this energy, spread the word. Life is not that complicated. I think today's world, we see a lot of hatred between people, races, religions, nations, countries. Life is, we are making our life complicated. We don't really have to compete with each other. If we are really looking at self and ask the question, why I'm here, what is my purpose, what purpose I'm going to be happy with, and if you start asking that question, the answers will come to you, and you don't have to compete with, that person has this Mercedes car, I need to have that. You don't need to. You just do your work, what you're good at, and then people will start collaborating and talking with each other. We all have unique gifts and talents, and with that, we'll start helping each other. And life will be more happier and peaceful, and we will be more awake, and then we can really grow. I think almost the whole planet is sleeping. All people are sleeping. I think there are only certain number of people in this world, they are at that level, but entire population of the planet is really sleeping. We are not awake yet. I think we need to become real. We need to really, really start seeing the world and who we are, and start making difference. We are being suffered.
Do you think that there's we talk about this on the show all the time, where you can look at it a couple different ways, right? That there's a lot of people that are still asleep, and there's this, all these wars going on, and it's a negative outlook. But then you can also see the internet and how that's changing everything for the positive, and how there's people like us and you guys talking, and people opening up their levels of consciousness. So, if you look at it the latter way, where we're opening up our consciousness and things are changing in a compassionate way, do you, in your personal opinion, do you think that there will be like a tipping point? Like, do you think it has to reach a certain level, and that might be 10% or 5% or 1%, or before things like dramatically shift, or will it be just an ongoing slow kind of awakening?
I think it will be ongoing. It will be it will be a process. I don't think it will be a sudden change. It's been happening. It's been happening. It's been happening for centuries. People are getting more and more advanced, and more evolving more and more. With the internet and everything, it's really good that we are coming together. I think people say that, you have mobile phone, you are stuck to your phone, you are stuck to your computer and stuck to your internet, you're not growing. But I think that is actually making people more conscious. Even a person just playing a video game continuously on a computer or on his cell phone is actually focusing, is giving attention. His brain is not multitasking at that time. He's focused attention. So if he's
I hadn't thought of that. That's actually a good point.
Yeah, it is. He's evolving, and that person can become awakened. So there are good things happening, but we need to look at those consciously. So these all things are happening and coming at the right time in this universe, right time at the world, and the consciousness is increasing. But at the same time, people are getting stuck into that in this modern world as well. The things are coming. We have cars, we have vehicles, we have all these utilities and everything. We don't have to really work hard and go in the woods and cut wood and sell it and cut fruits and all. We don't have to do that. Everything is being given to us. So because of that, we have more time to meditate, more time to do other things, the conscious things, and that's not happening. I think we are getting all these new things, advanced things, but we are getting stuck into that as well. So we need to use those for your benefit consciously, and then use the other time that you're getting free, because automation is making you do things faster and you have more time in your hand. So don't waste that extra time that you have in hand. Go meditate and start doing stuff. So that kind of things needs to happen. People are taking advantage of masses. So we need to make sure that masses know who they are and they are worth. They have the power. Everybody has the power to rise.
Would you, for any of our listeners who are just jumping into this, what can you think of, like maybe a good book that's entry level or something like that? Or
there are many books on Kundalini. When I made my movie, Kundalini documentary.
Oh, the movie, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
right.
and tell us where you can see that as well.
It's on Amazon. It's on a website called 7 Dots Media, and it's also on Gaia TV, online available. So if you have Gaia subscription, you can watch that online as well. But the DVD is available on Amazon. Kundalini documentary is a 82 minutes long film, and that will give a very, very thorough explanation from basic level to all people. And there are many books. There was a person called Gopi Krishna who wrote about 18 books on Kundalini, and he wanted scientific evolution, scientific research on Kundalini. That was his quest. He was very high level Kundalini active, but he did not consider himself as guru, did not create an organization around him, because he just wanted this knowledge to be spread and scientifically proved. He has written many books on Kundalini. His book called Kundalini Empowering Human Evolution is the best book by Gopi Krishna. That can be a good start for people. And then he has written Kundalini Questions and Answers, a book as well. That would be a good book to review as well. His books are available on Amazon as well. So if you search Gopi Krishna, you will get to his books.
What was that first one again you mentioned?
Kundalini Empowering Human Evolution.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to link to all this in the show notes as well, so people can just click on it and get there. And then I was just looking on Gaia for your documentary there, but there's a whole bunch of Kundalini ones that show up.
Just look at Nitin Adsul Kundalini, and then it should pull up.
Okay, let's try that here. Yeah. There it is. Nice. Yeah, I'll link to that in the show notes as well.
Beautiful.
Right on. Yeah, that's been a good chat. I think I really like the work you guys are doing, and I think it's very important, and it's going to be a big part of the growing awareness of our energy and our levels of consciousness and following our path. I really like it.
Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to come on your show and share and talk.
You're welcome. Yeah, keep in touch. If you guys come out with another couple documentaries, or if anything major happens, we'll get you back on and chat about it.
Absolutely, will do.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nitin.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye. And that was a chat with Nitin Adsul. That was a good one.
That was great.
I always thought Kundalini was a sex thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It does have that connotation because it also is known as sexual energy. Like when you're doing it, like people, I'm sure they could have orgasms and stuff as well. We should talk to them about that, the breath work and all that. Like
I was gonna, but then I wasn't sure. Once I figured out it wasn't a sex thing, when I heard that you were doing, I was how that's gonna come across.
Yeah. I think it also comes from like tantra breathing and stuff like that as well. Like people can, there's sort of an overlap between like tantra and kundalini and sex breath work and stuff like that.
You made it all weirdly sexual with your fingers and you put those things together too. There you go. That a boy. Yeah, big thanks for coming on the show. I'm going to watch a documentary, obviously.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just, you know what, guys like that, I have a sense that they're just genuine. They're not out to try and make a buck. They're really just trying to help people, right?
That's right. How much is the documentary?
I think it might be free, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. You have to be a member to Gaia, but I'm sure you can get it on Amazon too, like you said. Yeah, you know what I mean, though, right? It seems very genuine. You know, you're welcome to donate there, but they don't have a donation page, right? It's just you can pay it, I guess, to do some of the courses and all that to help you, but it just feels very genuine.
That's right.
Are you going to try?
Oh, I'll watch a documentary. I like that it's a documentary because I can commit to that.
As opposed to a course?
Or a book.
Or a book, yeah.
A book is a big commitment, especially around Christmas and everything else. And
unless it's on audio.
I've got like 8 books on the go already. I just found my old Audible account just fucking packed full of credits. It's been charging my account every month and I didn't even know.
What? You said you canceled that a long time ago.
I did, no.
Oh,
so I spent exciting. Like 6 credits.
What'd you get? That's exciting.
I gave 3 to the wife, and then I grabbed the Scott Adams one. How to fail at everything and still win big, or something like that. Yeah. And then I grabbed, I can't remember now. Here's my Audible though. The Dilbert Principle and Moby Dick.
Oh.
Moby Dick was 25 hours.
Yeah, you might just get bored of that one.
I don't think I can.
You might not last.
And then, of course, I got my 1984 on here.
Yeah, I know. I should listen to that one again.
Day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his...
Good narrator.
Is that 1984?
Yeah.
You like those English narrators, eh?
Yeah. A storyteller. Yeah. That's almost why the audiobook's good that's the main thing now, because I've realized that I can't absorb that content while I'm driving around the city.
What content?
Books. I find
audiobooks? Really?
Yeah. I can if it's nonfiction. Cramming facts down my throat. But if it's a novel, it just the allure kind of gets lost. Whereas it's different to sit in bed.
Or a podcast. A
podcast is different.
Yeah.
It's different than a book, than a novel where you're supposed to really be visualizing, you know? Especially if you have a good narrator and he's doing the voices and everything else, then you might as well just be curled up on your couch.
I feel like I'm the opposite. I can handle a good fiction book, but not a nonfiction. I have to be like...
How can you visualize properly? You're not. You're just half-assing it.
Maybe.
Because when you read, you're forced to visualize your own little fantasy world.
But why do you need to... Maybe I don't want to visualize it. Maybe I just want to
Well, then what's the point of reading the novel? Novels aren't for absorbing.
It's not for visualization. Like,
sure
it's
it
not
is.
Why I read a novel. It's just... no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
No. Rob's out. That's the end of the show. Support the show. Grimerica.ca/support.
We are going to ask for donations, even though I think at the beginning I was like, no, we're not even going to ask for donations. And then, like, after sinking a few thousand into it, like, we better start asking for donations.
Fucking heating bill's going to be...
Yeah, because I remember I didn't want to, but holy shit, we got it now.
In the winter, if it stays like this for a couple weeks, the heating bill for the igloo is going to be bordering on $40 or $50 a month.
No, will
the
it?
fucking thing's 1,500 watts.
Really? And I blew the breaker turning on that.
Oh, yeah.
We have 3 heaters.
Right now,
in
the
here.
heaters are wide open, and they're just fucking skirting with like, my feet are cold. And both heaters are
Really?
cranked.
No. Are you?
Well, I'm wearing my slippers.
Well,
so I could have socks on.
And boots.
And boots. I could have boots, but I mean, it's supposed to be heated like, it's just so cold out. Right now, it's minus like fucking 30-some Celsius.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's like 18 probably or something. Everybody says it's all cold, and it's really not that bad.
What did you do today? Sat in your office. Why don't you come out with me tomorrow? Tell me how cold it is.
It's minus 19.
What's it feel like?
29. But you can't go by the feel like. That's not right either.
Sure it does. The wind sucks the heat out of things. So right now the
when you
wind's
say
whistling.
it's minus 29, you're like, it's not really minus 29. It might feel like that. But that's subjective. That's just, who says that's how it feels? The guy who makes the weather
wind chill
forecast?
calculation.
It's not a calculation. It's a feel.
The wind chill is a calculation.
It's a feel.
It's not a feel. That's just how they put it because they got sick of writing wind chill.
They got sick of writing wind chill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't get much colder than that here. And minus this morning when I left, it was minus 25. Actual temperature.
Felt like it?
No, it felt like minus 37 or something like that.
You're a little colder out here in Chestermere than.
But that's about as cold as it gets. Well, yeah, it should be colder there than the city.
Yeah, this could be the week of cold, right? The week or two.
This is the coldest it's been in 3 years.
No.
Absolutely.
No way. Oh my God.
This is the coldest it's been since I moved into this house.
3 years ago, there was a foot of ice on the driveway all year for months in Calgary. Like, it was brutal.
That was 3 years.
Cold,
that
freeze cold.
That was 3 winters ago.
Brutal winter, yeah.
But the last 2 winters were mild.
They haven't gotten even.
Didn't even go down below minus 20. It hasn't been this cold since I moved into this house. So it definitely hasn't been this cold in the igloo.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that bad for me. Maybe it's all the breathing I've been doing.
Must be. And you're all bundled up. You got a sweater on, nice big sweater.
Yeah.
Wearing your outside clothes.
Yeah. And you're wearing your fucking pajamas.
That was the point. Winter is ruining the plan. Anyway, check out grimerica.ca/support. Help us pay our outrageous heating bills. And while you're there, sign someone up for the newsletter and spamgram. Tell your friends about this motherfucker. And I think that's it. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next week.
say they like coast to coast, but on demand, raw and uncut interviews, and all without no ads. One says false and one says true, and the rate you sing grows too. Grimerica is here for you. Stories from the listeners, they sent to Graham. He'll read them and be amazed, but Darren may say no. One says red and one says blue, but if it's balls it just won't do.